to stream who cannot attend. And we are live. Hi everyone, welcome. I am giving the word first to I'm a co-founder of Liv.
Thank you, Elena. Okay, so first of all, hi everyone at Run and Rave. And everyone who's not from Run and Rave. Just some context, Elena and I are Liv Longevity Labs. Marco's employee number 3 there. We moved into the CIC in December, which is this co-working space here, and we're a health company. We're actually on a mission to add 1 million healthy years to Europe's working age population. But the Run and Rave folks have been here much longer at CIC. And it's just a very nice coincidence, I think it's a coincidence, right? That we organized this running prevention event today at the same day that Run and Rave have their daily run. So I'm really happy they're all here. We have been doing events for a while. Ellen and I met 2 years ago. Today we actually have over 1,600 community members that have attended our events. And actually the numbers are out of date here. So more than 550 people are beta testing our app. And I think today's event, 75. So these numbers are out of date. And we're in the business of longevity, right? So it's a hype term, but really what it means for us more than anything is that it's about reducing suffering. So actually, I lost my father when I was a teenager to heart disease. And a couple of years ago, my mom had a stroke. Long story, I'll keep it short. She had a stroke. And I became responsible for her and realized like how reactive the healthcare system is and how doctors really aren't incentivized. They want to help, but they're not incentivized to actually help you. And if there's no intervention at all, no doctor helps you, that's the red line. So over time, the quality of life becomes worse and worse and worse.
And then you die when the red line hits there.
Or as they say on Instagram nowadays, you get unalived. And if the current healthcare system intervenes, that little yellow bit at the end, you get to survive for another 10, 20 years. Very much like my mother today, who is a pre-diabetic because she's postmenopausal, has a stroke, she had a stroke, so she's disabled. And then it's really about keeping people alive until they get unalived.
And the quality of life is very low here.
And we want to change that. We're not the only ones, but there's a big movement right now called Medicine 3.0. It's really about science-backed preventative health. And it's really possible today because of AI and because of all the research that has actually come to light over the last 15 years or so. Fun fact, if you're a German, you're more likely to take your car to a mechanic once a year than you are to take your body to the doctor for a checkup. If you go to a mechanic, you saw that they'll plug everything into the car and they'll get their dashboards. And if you go to a clinic, like a Swiss clinic, you also have a professional who'll look at a lot of dashboards, who'll take your blood and really understands that stuff, right? But what we want to do is we want to help people know when they should go get a checkup. So if you're a driver of a car, you have a very simple dashboard. It beeps yellow. It says, hey, please take me to the mechanic now. Your body doesn't have that, and so we're building that for you. We keep it really simple. We measure biological age, which really tells you, which everyone understands. It's like a thermometer for your aging process. Are you running a fever? Are you aging too fast? Do you want to slow it down? You'll be able to really measure that and know when you should intervene or not. Of course, there's a lot more than just 3 numbers in the Liv experience today. It's a finger prick, and you get hundreds of biomarkers. You get your biological age, you get organ ages, and you get a whole scan of your body really for just a finger prick of your blood. And more than anything, you get a plan of tests and treatments that you can then pursue, if you want to actually reduce your risk of chronic disease, or let's say your risk of injuring yourself while exercising as I have done 2 times in the last 2 weeks. So I was actually just telling them, injured my shoulder. While training.
It's a good Freudian slip.
That's how I treat my shoulder. Yeah, and so that's what we're building at Liv. That's why we're really excited to have Nik here today. Everybody who attends our events gets a huge discount because we're very early. We're in the process of doing this experience for the first 1,000 people. And if that's interesting for you, I'm more than happy to show you the product and demo it to you and hook you up with a huge discount. But today is not about that. Today is actually about injury prevention. Elena,
yeah.
I want to just say thank you to you because you organized this event. I only get to stand up here and speak, but actually Elena is our head of science and is responsible for actually the entire program, selecting and vetting amazing speakers who are really knowledgeable about what they do and presenting it in a bite-sized way.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. So today, guys, we are super lucky. Super lucky. So a quick side note, how I actually learned about the Nik. I went to the Live Summit last year. It was a conference about longevity. And there is a gym which is called MTM gym. And I know that my friend goes there, and I really could see how he lost the fat, gained the muscles, and I knew the name of his trainer. So I came to her, chatted with her, followed her on Instagram, and then I started following you on Instagram. And running and actually improving VO2 max. VO2 max is a cardiorespiratory fitness biomarker, super hyped at the moment. Hyped not in a good way, but still, this is a super important kind of measure that in the marginal several decades will define whether you will have energy only to put your trousers on and make tea and sit at home the whole day, or you are able to go with your grandchildren to the Alps and do the hut-to-hut trip. So VO2 max important. For that, we need zone 2 running. Running is super important. And Nik is a ultra runner who crossed the desert 550 kilometers. He did 1 day 100 kilometers runs. So this is a guy who really knows how to train the muscles so that your tendons and ligaments feel fine, good, and actually help you to be healthy. And Nik is also is independent coach, so you can become his coachee. And Nik, the stage is yours, and we are super, super, super happy to have you. So you just pick it here.
Okay, perfect.
Boom, boom.
All right, amazing. I try, yeah. Maybe this is a good setup. All right. Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. I'm also super excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Because this topic, is very close to my heart. Because I started 10 years ago, hello. I started 10 years ago, running my first marathon and training for that. We started a little community called Kraft Runners, which is now became super big. We're in 12 different cities all over Germany and Austria, up to 100 people each city, which is amazing. And running just became in the last 10 years such a huge movement. Everybody now runs marathons. All the races are booked out, but also appointments at the doctors are super rare because everybody gets injured because running is such a fun sport. You make such big progress quite fast, and then at one point you will for sure hit a certain threshold, and there your body will break if you don't if you don't train smart and build the right muscles up front to protect, as you already said, ligaments and tendons, which are very fragile and don't develop as fast as our cardiovascular system does. And how to prevent that, how to train smarter, advance a little bit your training. That's why I'm here today. I want to start out with a little story about me, why like longevity and running long-term healthy is such a important topic to me. This is me actually like crossing the Atacama Desert with my friends from Craft Runners. We were 6 people, 500 kilometers and 3,600 meters elevation. And this is also me like 2 years after having a seizure and been diagnosed with a brain tumor. So 2 years of treatment, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and 2 years that really changed my perspective on how to train from like more the performance standpoint, always giving everything in every session, to more like having the out view of being able to run long term and being healthy and actually using running as something that supports my health and helps me to stay happy and healthy, like hopefully for the next 100 years, let's see. Yeah, about me, quickly, we already heard some things. In the progress of the last 10 years, I also like dig deep into the theory of training, did a lot of stuff myself, a lot of training, a lot of also myself getting injured, improving the way I train. And on the way, right after I finished the treatment, I also decided, okay, I'm going to make this my profession, and became running coach, first freelance, and then starting at MTM, the gym where we already talked about, where I now do mainly strength training. So I combine the two, running and strength training, and that's kind of my expertise. So I'm a strength coach for runners, helping runners staying injury free. Also, we already heard about the Atacama crossing. I believe that running, even though it should be long-term sustainable, I believe it's also like a great way to push your boundaries a little bit, but in a safe way. And that's how to do that I want to try to teach you today. I mean, it's just the basics we're covering today, but maybe you can pick some things for your own toolbox here and incorporate into your training, or maybe start a little strength training next to your running. My mission in the end is helping you all, helping every runner, every person to live a more active, strong, and injury-free life. So you can do what you love, the running, but long-term and without the nasty pauses that you have to do when you did too much. All right. Anybody knows this lady?
No.
All right, this is Julia Hawkins. Anybody wild guess how old is she? 93.
85.
Yes, she's actually 105 here. So I love this picture because you guess her way younger, and she actually run the world record over the 100 meters for the 105 plus years category. All right. So and I think that's like a great thing to strive for, being able to run until you're 105, or at least until the end. How did we call it? I don't know, until your end life. I don't know what we just said. Until you die. And why should you do that? Because, and that goes hand in hand. On one hand, running is improving your health. And on the other hand, it gives you always the opportunity to stay active and stay healthy. And that on the other, so it goes hand in hand, staying active and healthy and supporting your body doing that. First, that's the cardiovascular system that we're training. The VO2 max is a super important figure. The capacity of the body using oxygen, everything, all the oxygen that we breathe in. The better we train our energy system, the more oxygen we can use. And actually, like running at a low heart rate is a great thing to do that, but also like interval-based training, just a variety of running helps a lot improving the cardiovascular system. Bone health, super important topic. Actually, it's a bit like the muscle, use it or lose it. As we put pressure on the bones, they don't become more fragile. That's why like the myth that running is bad for your knees is actually super wrong. It actually makes your knees stronger. It's just the way, how we prepare the body basically for it that makes it unhealthy. If we put too much pressure on the bones, of course, they break. But if we prepare the body right, it's a great way to improve actually bone density and make them stronger. And mental well-being, I looked up what Julia's secret was to become that old. And she said it's like we should always strive for pushing our boundaries and having great experiences. And running, you can just have amazing experience. Everybody who ever participated in a race or just a community run, it's a great feeling to be active together, achieving things you're training for. And whatever you want to get from running, you can get it, being it like boosting self-esteem, being social around people, and your whole hormonal system will also advance if you're outside and active. And lastly, the longevity aspect, all those bringing all those together, running is just a great way to live a long, injury-free, if we do it right, and active life, great, collecting great experiences and moments, like this lady here.
May I add something?
Yes, of course.
I just learned recently that the exercise, resistance training and running, all that strain of muscles that we put on our bones, make our bones more like stronger, dense, so we don't get this osteoporosis. And I was working in the lab with mice, and when they get old, they have this hunchback, and that's actually osteoporosis, what is happening with mice. Another fun but very sad fact that Ozempic, so young people, all these Hollywood stars who take now Ozempics to lose weight, induces osteoporosis, and young women who are 25, 30, they get that osteoporosis that will make them much more faster to develop that hunchback. So that muscle and running exercise is so important to also make our bones strong, thick, or structure.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a muscle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to have these popped up one after another, but I want to warm up you a little bit and also get to know you all a little bit more. So please, hands up. Who here runs regularly? Okay, perfect. Yeah, or injury. Okay, perfect. So nearly everybody, great. And who had already like an injury from running? Yeah, also nearly everybody, right? And who has been told running is bad for the knees? Like when you say runner, is not bad for the knees? Yeah, everybody, right? And who here does regular strength training? Amazing, you're good. You're like the exception for runners. Because normally I rather get the answer, I should do it, but I rather run. So you're all doing a great job already incorporating that. And I want to give you like some tips here and there. You might advance that a little bit. And why is it so important? Because we're basically putting the same pressure over on our bones, on our structures, for, up to how long we run, right? Like if it's 10K, we're having 10,000 steps, 10,000 times the same pressure on the same structures. And if we run marathon, even 40 times and 40,000 times. So if we have imbalances in the body, if our muscles don't support it, all those pressures go onto our ligaments, onto our bones, which they are not made for. And that's actually like, right, if we don't prepare the body, running is bad for the knees, running is bad for the chin, running is bad for your hips, because if we don't prepare it right, all those structures will suffer. And 40,000 times having this on your bones, on your structures. Yeah.
What do you mean ligaments are not made for this?
I mean, like just walking around, it's all good, but running without the actual preparation, a marathon, and your muscle not protecting the ligaments, the joints. So they're made for a certain amount of pressure, for sure, but we're actually also made to have muscle that support and protect our ligaments. That's the key here. So they are made for it, but we have to have the balance between the right amount of muscle and to be able to take this. Yeah.
Is it like because now we're so often living sedentary, and I think of like my grandfather working in the field, he would always, between quotations, be doing strength, digging, carrying things and so on, or is it still different? Like you still need tailored strength to prevent running injury?
Yeah, I mean, it always depends on, I mean, like, even if you do like, I don't know, construction works or whatever, like you basically put a lot of pressure on certain muscles, but others are totally undeveloped, and like probably you don't train the right, also you carry one-sided, but not the other. So yeah, like having balanced strength training, I think if you don't like take super much care of how you live your life and how to engage muscles, like going to the gym or doing home workouts, there's nothing around it to get a balanced physique. Because it's all about balance in running. And why runners get injured? And here, I made some bubbles of the biggest things we're having there. Super big topic is load errors, means you're just running too much. As I said in the beginning, you love the running, and that's what you want to do, right? And you're making progress, it's super fun, but at some points you will feel a little ache here and there. You continue, you're getting still faster, and at some point there comes this turning point where the body is like cracking down, and you basically have the injury, and then it's months, sometimes weeks if it's good, but most runners like struggle up to a half a year or a year with an injury, which is super annoying mentally and physically. And adapting the training to that is very important. That's why I'm here today. Weak links, we talked about it. Of course, our ligaments, our joints are ready to move, but they need to be protected from the muscle, right? Especially if we want to do like exceptional things like running ultra marathons, running marathons, running super fast 10K, all those sports put a lot of load on our ligaments, more than we would have when we just walk through the city, what we need those muscles for. And connecting to that, the weak links need to be protected by our muscles, and the lack of muscle is actually what causes then the injury of our joints in the end. The secret to the load problem is, very boring, but simple: progressing gradually, all right? So when you do 20 kilometers a week, you should aim for not more than 22 the following week, not more than 24.4 the upcoming week. So the 10% rule is super important because our ligaments, our joints are until a certain point able to adapt to the stress, but they take way longer than muscle does. That's why strength training is such a big lever, because we have the opportunity to, within weeks, advance our body and protect our joints, while the strengthening of joints and tendons takes months and years until they get ready for those loads that we are able to do cardiovascular. We're ready for it, right? Cardiovascular system adapts super fast, joints, ligaments super slow, and in the middle we have the muscle, basically buffering up our progress that we made cardiovascular, protecting our joints there. Warning signs you all know: muscles getting like constantly sore. You feel a little ache here and there that doesn't go away. Sometimes gets better, but constantly worse on average. And constantly fatigue basically creeping in. You're not enjoying running that much anymore. And that's like a great warning sign that you should maybe take a step back, see if your load is maybe too much. Should I do a deload, which is also like very important, that at least every 3 weeks, you should build in a recovery week where you like decrease your load a little bit, doing an easy week, and then like basically continuing your progression. We're all living a like quite sedentary lifestyle, sitting in front of the computer all day, and that's really like frontal chain dominant, right? We're sitting, imagine you're having the chair here. So these muscles are kind of engaged, but our back posterior chain, our glutes, hamstring, calves, core, they're just resting, like they do nothing. And that's actually why many people get injured in the knees, not because the knees not because the knees are weak, but because we put too much pressure on them, because our glutes, hamstrings actually protect the knee, and if they're weak, we'll get an injury. Especially the glute medius, which you can see there in orange. Everybody thinks about the glutes as this butt muscle here, the big muscle we're having. But actually, for running, the most important one is here, the glute medius, which is here on the side. I will give you some exercises for later, how to strengthen that. The exercises will look super easy, but most people I work with do them, and after like some reps, they're like crying out because these muscles are so weak actually, and most of us. Hamstring, the same, the big muscle here on the back of your leg. Many people do squats, right? That's like, if I ask anybody what's a good leg exercise, everybody will say, yeah, squats is a great exercise. But we actually miss out on the hamstrings, which are super important for pushing us into every step, basically, and getting us forward. Calves is like definitely one of the most important for running, because we're putting like 6 to 8 times our weight each step on our calves and on our body, and the calf actually is able to absorb that weight, but only if it's strong enough, right? We have these big muscles here, or for some people it's big, for some people it's not that big, the calf. But I would say like maybe 1% of the people really trains the calf, but it's actually a super important muscle for every runner, and nobody should miss out on protecting us from putting too much weight on our tendons. And absorb the pressure we're putting on our joints, right? And lastly, the core, also such a weak link in many people. Doing crunches is all right, but what we really want is we're basically, when we're running, our core in the middle, right? And we're moving the arms, the legs around. And if our core is not strong enough, holding here throughout the whole marathon, 10K, whatever, we're getting imbalances, right? We're shaking left to right. And in that way, each step we're putting more load on one side or the other. That's why we get those injuries mostly on one side, right? We never have injuries on both knees or both chins. It's mostly one side because we put more pressure on them because we have this, we have a weak core which is not able to balance our body out, which is so important for running, right? And you can see the core is actually such a big muscle going up from here, going onto the sides, up to our the sternum here, exactly. It's protecting us all around. All right, get you all to stand up, all right? Workshop. All right, a little glute medius test, all right? You can see already here what I want you to do. Just standing on one leg and have the knee here in front. Yes. And then you should be able to hold that, keeping your hip nice and leveled, right? If your hip is dropping a little bit, that means like your glute medius here is not strong enough. And now?
I feel like I'm over-raising it, actually.
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely a sign that your glute medius could use some work. All right, great. Now you're holding. And what we now want to do is doing a single leg squat, all right? Beautiful. Yeah. And here, what we want is, as we come up, the knee should stay in line with our toes, right? And not going in like this. That's also a great sign that your glute medius might need some work. All right?
Is the knee supposed to hurt like this, or?
No. If it does, it's maybe also a good sign that glute medius. Yes, and here we can see a nice that your hip is shifting a little bit as you're going down. And yeah, beautiful. And when you come up, also the knee is caving a bit in. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, beautiful. You can all sit down again. Thank you. Now you recognize, hopefully, that glute medius might need some work. Also nice to stay a little active, right? Yeah, already teased that a little bit, right? And that's basically what happens, right? If our glute medius is weak and we land single legs, running single leg spot, we're basically going from one leg stance to the other one leg stance, right? And you all feel probably, okay, one side is a little weaker than the other, one side shifting a little bit more. And this side will probably be the side where you get the injury because, you will put more pressure on one side if your pelvis drops. If here, other side, you will maybe be balanced, strong enough. But it's all about our body basically absorbing always the impact on one leg and then on the other. That's why our structures need to be balanced out. So putting equal pressure on both sides. If you put more pressure on one side, injury is like very close. Stabilizing pelvis and trunk, already said that, how important the core and the glute medius especially is to keeping us in balance. like a scale. We basically want to have exactly the same pelvis position, which is not realistic at all, but we want to strive for getting as optimal as possible, especially as we want to get faster, as we want to go longer, right? And then also all about control, like having a bit awareness of the running you do, not just going out of the, from sitting at your computer and then mindlessly running out, not thinking about like warming up, not thinking about, how do I even do my steps? Like, do I put equal pressure on both legs? So it's about also with any exercise, running is also about feeling your body and the position of your body. And the better you do that, the more healthy and the better also your running will be. Yes, so as we learned now, running is a single leg sport, right? And that's why we also want to use strength training to basically work one-sided, unilateral. I already said that a couple of times now, why we want to do strength training, because our tendons, our joints are ready for the pressure, the load we put on them, but they develop quite slow and the muscle quite fast. So we want to build muscle to protect those structures, especially as we go longer, as we go faster. It also improves our running economy. Everybody who does strength training regularly, after some time, you'll feel that when you run, you just feel more stable. You're less likely to sprain the ankle. You're more stable here in the hips and the core, like your whole run will just feel better. You will feel lighter on your feet and just less achy afterwards, pain here and there, because we're actually balancing out the body and protecting our joints. Reducing injury risk, 100%, like up to 50% in some studies, reduces risk of like all those kinds of nasty injuries that we don't want to have, that stopping us from training for months and up to years, or if people even stopping for injuries to run because they think like running is not for me, my joints are not made for it. They're made for it, but we need to prepare them for it, right? And building resilience, super important. As I already said, like the stronger your muscles are, the better they protect your joints, the longer you can go, and you will still stay injury-free on the way. This is the runner strength pyramid, right? On the top, what should follow in the end is the running performance, speed, endurance, and running efficiency. And that's actually where most of the runners start, like getting a training plan, following it, 10K training plan 3 times a week, doing all the runs, going maybe a bit too fast on the speed sessions, a bit too fast on every run. And then I already said that a couple of times, but injury is very likely to happen. If we just follow a strict running training plan, you will definitely feel the improvements, especially in the first weeks. But at some points, your tendons and joints will just give up and not be able to handle the pressure anymore. That's why we want to build first like a stable base, right? All those muscles I already described, the glute medius, core, ankle stability, the calves. If you train those structures that are especially important for running, you already have a great base, right? And then we want to put on top of that, like some heavy strength training exercises I will show you in a sec, building the power in the muscles. And then on top, we can build the running performance this doesn't have to be in isolation, right? We don't have to build this all at once before we can start running. We want to build this like as a continuum, right? Integrating these steps into our running training, because that's what we love to do. Most likely you will also learn to love strength training when you do it right. And like these little exercises we can just integrate into our daily lives, a 10-minute workout here and there, and you're good there. All right, so basically using this as a base, but never forget to have this long term, the running performance. You want to have the base, right? The necessary stability, protecting our structures, having a good balance, and then powerful muscles that protecting our joints.
Can I add something?
Of course.
Mobility.
Yes.
So maybe in the stability control base to have
Definitely, yeah.
Like if you have mobility restriction, yeah, you're kind of screwed. You need to do that first, basically.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Like it's and mobility is different than stretching, right? What many people do, like before running, I should stretch, right? But stretching is actually like a super passive movement. Like you're just making the muscle longer, but you don't make it stronger, right? And mobility is like still being mobility. The difference is that you can still develop force, strength in a stretch position, right? So, for example, calf raises. If you do calf raises on something that's on a stair, for example, you also always want to go into full extension, all the heels down, and then raise up back from there. And when you do real strength training, full range of motion, you actually have the mobility already in it. Example, squat. You go all the range of motion, right? And you can develop force from this stretch position here up, right? So when you do strength training right, you're having the mobility part already in it. Of course, if you always do half reps or so, no mobility. But if you do full reps, full range of motion, controlled, you have the mobility part in there already. And then throwing in a bit of yoga or something there, also very good way to do it. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of stretching or so, like because.
Well, it's not the first time we hear from expert speakers that they are not fans of stretching, right?
Yeah, because as I said, like, why should you make the muscle longer, but not stronger? Like as I said, we want the muscle to be strong and be able to, be powerful in every position, right? It doesn't bring me much if I can do a split, but I can't get out of it. Like somebody has to help me up because I'm so flexible. But if I'm just flexible without strength, I'm basically injured.
One of our speakers mentioned that stretching is actually detrimental for the joints, and all the gymnasts, professional gymnasts, have severe problems in older age.
Oh, yeah,
with
those
joints.
injuries.
But
Yeah,
it's
in
overstretched.
general.
Because they're overstretched in a way.
Yeah,
I think both is important in a way also. Most of runners cannot do full squat because they are stretching out and their muscles are short.
exactly.
So I think balance is really important.
Yeah, like maybe to add, like in your training plan, once a week, 1 hour mobility and stretch training, just to keep that there.
Yeah.
That's
I
very
mean,
important. Still the mobility you're doing, but you're doing that in the strength training.
Yeah.
But do it without like dumbbells, without weight is also very important.
Yeah, definitely. If you have enough time to do that,
Yeah,
for sure.
but yeah, then the
It's
time.
it's definitely the time aspect. I would always definitely prefer like using my time doing like a full range of motion strength training, really going deep into the positions, bringing all the joints to the whole range of motion, and as you said, like if you can do a full squat, then work on that before you start stretching intensely because you're working your muscles and at the same time improving your mobility. Yeah, thank you for your input. That's very valuable to discuss that, but yeah, I will always use my time more developing strength. And yeah, strength training, people always have in mind like people doing biceps curls or whatever. But it's actually like, yeah, you have the mobility aspect if you do it right. And you're all doing the strength training already, so which is amazing. But most runners I work with say, yeah, I don't have time for that. It takes too much time to go to the gym, whatever. And that's why it's so important to remove barriers to strength training. Strength training doesn't have to mean that you walk to the gym, take the weights, yeah, get changed, like all this process that happens before you go to the gym. Just having like a 20-minute workout at home, maybe you have a kettlebell, maybe you have some elastic bands with you, can mean like a great base for running. You will not build the biggest, make the biggest strength gains maybe, but you can do your sport, your running in a healthy way at least. Yeah, you just need a yoga mat wherever you go on vacation. You can always do those 20 minutes sessions. I will show you, I think I have like a little, yeah, I have some exercises for you that you can incorporate there. You basically need nothing but yeah, fitness band. So if you say, yeah, I don't have time to the gym, I'm in a different city, at least bring a yoga mat, bring a gymnastics band and do like a little body workout strength sessions and then target it. So yeah, I mean, push-ups is a nice way to train, but it doesn't really help a lot with your running, right? So do a targeted. Yeah.
With time check.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Here has jobs.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I forgot the time.
At least has a schedule.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
You
No.
get to say what you want to say.
Yeah. Amazing. Good point. And we also wanted to talk a little bit, right? Okay, yeah. Time, I will go a little bit faster. I love this topic so much that I yeah, forget myself in it. Exercise, snacks. So also here, whenever you do something, you have the chance basically, you wait for something, you basically have the chance to do a little like, you brush your teeth, just stand on one leg, building your balance, right? You're cooking, just doing some body weight squats, full range of motion. You want to train your ankle mobility, right? You just squat a little bit, active posture, chest out, straight back. Many people do this, but you want to get here actually, right? And you will get better. Waiting for the coffee, do some calf raises, helps your running a lot. At the office, always take the stairs, never take the elevator, all right? It's just a nice workout to take the stairs. Yeah, for the pre-activation, all right? What we also do as runners, we go out, run. Maybe some people do some stretching before, which I'm not a fan, as I already said. I rather want to engage the muscles before running, right? When we run and our muscles are not engaged, the run will just feel, yeah, less good. I quickly present those exercises. Glute bridges, you will stand here on back, one knee into chest, and then you press your hip up, all right? Single leg. That's exactly what you're having with running, right? 15 reps, one side, switching sides, going to the other side. Single.
I've never seen that exercise in my life.
I don't want to rush through probably the most important part. I just want to check if everybody has time. If we take a couple of extra minutes, what's the temperature of the room here? I definitely have time. Yeah? Is it okay for you as well? Yeah? Okay.
I just want to have half an hour more if you No, I'll keep it short. Who are here as time? Everybody? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, as I said, I love this topic so much. I even brought some. For the glute medius.
Never seen that ever. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can do them weighted too.
I mean, you usually do it like on 2 legs, but then you do it with 1 leg.
You can like also like take
The weight.
Yeah.
The weight, yes, but it's the
What I all want,
Like one leg.
what I all want you to do, you get a band like this, put it over your knees, feet together, height of the buttocks, and then you open and close. But you want to stay here, keep the band under tension, right?
So it's not like the full range.
No. You want to keep the little muscle here firing, the glute medius. If you close it all down, it's not firing, right? We want to keep it under tension. Clamshells. And this, doing this every day, will advance your running super much. Because as I already said, the glute medius is a super important muscle, but by all the sitting, we lose it basically. And doing this exercise, yes.
So you just showed us the exercise.
Yeah.
Is that every day until it hurts, or?
2 sets of 15 reps is a great way to start. And then, I have a physio who told me, you want to advance quickly, so do it 12 minutes a day. So.
I just learned that in classes.
Yeah. No, it's very small. So, do it 15 times in the beginning, and if that becomes easy, it doesn't burn anymore, you just do more reps. But for the activation before the run, this is totally fine. 15 reps, each leg, 2 rounds of this. Single leg balance, we already did that, standing on 1 foot. Try to keep your pelvis equal, right? Because that would be 1 for running, chest out, straight back, good posture, then other leg. And here my right leg is actually much more in imbalance. That's why I should train that more. And then dead bugs, also great way. You press your lower back into the ground, legs up, arms up, they are still, and then left and right, we're extending the leg, right? Dead bugs here, very important for engaging the trunk. And like we're running, right? We're using left and right leg. So this is a great, and while we're keeping the core nice and strong, keeping our pelvis, the rest of the body still. Dead bugs, also here, 15 reps, each leg, and you're ready for your run. Because when we just go out from sitting, your glute medius, your core, nothing is engaged, right? And then we go out and put so much pressure on our joints. We're not in balance at all. And that's why like an activation before the run is actually the way to go before we do like any kind of stretching, which is like, as I already said, helping you not at all before a run. Yeah, I'm coming also close to the end, so no worries. We're having hopefully some time for some questions. Recovery, this is actually the time when we build, when we advance, right? If you run every day and we don't have the capacity to, get back into balance, we're not advancing, we're actually declining. When we train, we actually first decline with our performance, and then our body is super adapting to it, and our capacity gets higher. But we need the rest to get the body basically to adapt. And if we don't have that, we will get into overtraining and decline with our performance actually on the long term. So having 7 to 9 hours of sleep, dependent also on how much we train, and having at least 1 rest day per week to really give the body a chance to get back into balance and listen to the body. So if you have little aches here and there, you're constantly tired, it's maybe time to get a step back to deload week and then come back stronger the next. Yeah, and then the longevity formula, do your runs, follow the training plan, but then also throw in strength training 2 times per week would be amazing to protect the joints, have powerful muscles, and also like profit in every run, feeling better. And sleep well, and then, yeah, hopefully we'll all get until we are 105 and still build and have amazing memories until then, being able to run, hitting world records. All right. Thank you very much.
Questions? Somebody has questions?
So for the 10%
But I
rule,
said.
Yeah.
how do you decide what is your starting distance to increase 10%?
I would say, like, starting out, like, if you're a fit person, doing 2 5-kilometer runs or so, if you feel good with that, I would say like 10 kilometers as a fit person, split on 2 days is like a good, and then like also in a pace that feels like you can still talk to someone. That would be very important to me.
Zone 2.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ben. Question?
Well, what's special about human beings that makes us need to lift weights and go to the gym? I mean, I've never seen a cheetah in the gym, I've never seen a dog in the gym.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be able
Interesting.
Human beings need all this extra.
Yeah, I can only be like a little philosophical there. We need resistance, right? And we look for resistance in life. And the gym is just a great place to, under controlled circumstances, basically put our body through resistance. Yeah, that would be.
Maybe I can add some nuance from the longevity side. We're blessed with this huge brain and that's developed, and so now we already, we talk about longevity all the time, but really we should probably call it super longevity, because we already reached some sort of longevity. We're not typically like 35 is already a couple of thousand years ago was a good place to be, and now we're like, oh, I'm just in the middle, and I want to reach 85, 100, and so. I think, tell me if I'm wrong, I assume a lot of the people you're helping are already in their 30s, not so much in their teenage years.
Yeah,
or
for sure,
20s.
for sure.
So you can probably run as much as you want and do stuff, and you won't see the negative results.
Definitely, yeah, exactly. Like the body can compensate in younger age much better what we then with 30 can't do anymore.
I see all the questions.
Yes.
I think also like right now science is so developed that we know what is best for us. I mean, we all saw our parents or grandparents working on fields, getting sick, and they always said, that's my sport. And there are still grandparents out there which say that. But with all the science-based stuff, we just we develop and that changes. So that is, I guess, why we need to go to the gym, and we need that strength training, or do the strength training at home at least.
Yeah.
Because you can be a great gardener, but you
Yeah.
see all these, how unhealthy the posture is and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
We have 2 more questions, please.
I just wanted to add, because of muscle building, right, that we're evolutionary, we built this still as hunter-gatherers. So the way we behave like that, not this paleo stuff, but you need to move long distances, you need to handle things. I think you wouldn't need any strength training if you do that. Like my grandma, she's about 90, and she is all muscle. It's almost like she hugs you, you don't have any breath. Because she works in the farm, she's a kid. She's very strong. And I think that's the point. I know that you like running and not so much the strength training side, right? And I think for you it might work because you run so much, and maybe if you do on the core and the top also a lot, maybe it works for you. But I think that's the point. You have to compensate towards the hunter-gatherer thing.
So because our lives are very different from how they were.
Which is not for evolutionary, and nothing has changed.
And I think for you specifically, you've been moving successfully with these sports, and your muscles are more adapted to them. For people who have been sitting most of their life, they need different way of adaptation. They come to gym, losing muscle, which already are given,
And we have the last question, right?
I want to ask, what's your view on healthy heart rate actually running, but also progression in activity and speed.
Yeah, definitely. I would, yeah. Since heart rate.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. What's a healthier heart rate? Yeah, I would maybe not, since not everybody has like a heart rate monitor or so, and it's also not super accurate most of the time. I would always more like think about like on a scale from 1 to 10, how exhausting is this workout right now for me. And I would always try to like start out when you do want to do like a long run at zone 2, like be at a pace like a 5 or so. So you still have like, you're at 50% of your maximum maybe, and you still have like the capacity to talk someone. I would always think more about like, what's your felt level of exhaustion right now, than to think too much about heart rates, because that also might like, dependent on so many factors, right? Sometimes I look at my heart rate and it's like very high up, even though I'm at a comfortable pace. So, so I would rather think about like exhaustion level, and that's where you want to be, right? Think about before, like, where do I want to stay? Easy run, then stay at a conversational pace.
Yeah, and the last comment from Amr.
One last time, let's keep the questions going. I'm just like, so Marco and I sometimes start a day together on the bike, and sometimes I'm like talking to him, like, so what are you gonna do today? And did you work on the thing yesterday? And I'm looking at my heart rate, and it's sitting in a nice zone 2, 135, 140.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but talking feels too hard for me. You know? And Marco's just like,
yeah. Then it's definitely also like something that you got to be able to. It's just a matter of training, being able to talk while you do zone 2 activities. So yeah, if you do that a lot, then it gets easier. But yeah, maybe you don't think about like talking, you more think about a level where you can comfortably, where you feel comfortable, and not think about the talking part, because that's also like some kind of skill, I feel, because it brings off your breathing out of your normal rhythm. So if you're not used to that, of course, you will have problems doing that, while Marco maybe talks a lot while biking, or has some kind of practice in it. For example, if we run in a group and talking to someone, since I'm used to that, super easy for me, but for somebody who just started out running, like, talking at the same time is not the easiest thing to do. But still, your heart rate can be quite low doing it.
cool, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I would say we will conclude with this.
Yes.
You can find Nik Marten reference to his LinkedIn page, also to his company page, through our Luma event description. Well, Liv Longevity Labs, we have a lot of lined up events in the future about different topics of longevity, not only sports, it's also about the cardiorespiratory and vascular health, mental health, and so on. Please keep watching. Thank you so much for coming, and always approach me. I'm here at CIC. Amr, any topic, just grab me for coffee, and I will definitely give you some protocol to improve some of your longevity biomarker. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining. If you have still any questions, I'm always happy to answer. Yeah.
We have this room now, right?
We have this room, yes.
Yeah, so feel comfortable.
Actually, one question. I was
Yes.
wondering what is like the good balance of interval and interval on runners. Just 5K.
Say like 80% not so, and like 20%.
Like intense, right?
Yeah.
And then
How many
about,
days do you want to start?
I'm a beginner, so I try to run like probably like 2 or 3 times, like 5K runs, and then 1 interval run. Yeah.
I mean, it's not 80%, it's more higher now, but I would one interval session should besides on easy runs, I would say it's always hard to really make a general view of that because everybody has like different capacities. I don't know if you have a super stressful job, how your capacity is with recovery, right? The better your recovery is, the more hard things you can do in sports. That's always like a factor coming into your like. You have super fast capacity to recover from runs. When I was 20, I could go out, partying a long time, next day run a marathon, no problem. That's not the case anymore.
Yeah, I did a long time after the run, yeah. And what about like if you have like slight pain, like knees or foot or ankle, like is it necessary to take a like rest for this, or is it okay to run or like relax? Yeah.
People used to tell me to like run through the pain.
Yeah, because some people say like recovery runs help you recover, but I don't know if that's true.
Really, that's kind of depends on the pain you're having, right? If it's like something like sore muscles or so, it's fine. You can do some recovery run.
Yeah.
And if it gets better, all good. If it's like a pinching pain or so, something that gets worse as you run, or you start, basically changes the way you run. If you like start limping or something, that's where I would stop until you're better again. Do some strength training, always do something, right? Improve your strength, and then when you feel ready again, you start running. Again, if it changes the posture, the way you run, I would always take a break or do something interesting.
Oh my goodness. So I actually want to like I actually want to like push myself a little bit more, like to do the like more intense like run. But I don't know like how much it's better to push myself, and I don't know like I don't know if my body is like capable to do more than I do, because I always like prioritize like not getting like injured. So I don't know if I like to push myself too slow or
no. As I said, like progress really needs time, and it doesn't make sense to do too much, like progress too fast, because then it's just like injury is just around the corner, right? Just progress slowly, do this for years, and you will have a much better experience than like pushing yourself now. And like use the 10% rule, like not doing like more than 10% you did the week before.
Thank you.
Yes, take it slow.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was amazing. Yeah, I learned so many great things. Yeah.
And like I also doing like energy exercises, because like I know these exercises doing at home and all, but with weights. Are you doing some stuff? Do you have some exercises like, because for the glutes that exercise for really nice, but I was doing like this. Like I'm training for 7 years. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I would do. I think I forgot the slide, but what great exercises are the split squats loaded.
Yeah, exactly.
You have like the weights here, the dumbbells, and then you want to bring the knee as far over your toes as possible. You're here on the ground, and then pressing back up. 3 seconds down, 3, 2, 1, holding a sec here. And that's what I mean with mobility, right? If we do a full range of motion, we have a super nice stretch here, we have a nice stretch here, we have a nice stretch here in the ankle, and then pressing back up. Split squat, then something like B stance, RDLs, you're having the barbell here, hinging backward, and then bringing it across, squeezing the glutes on the way up. Single leg, you can also have dumbbells here, and bam.
You have like some very special forms, because that's my biggest issue.
Yeah.
Like this is but I feel like it's
can
not
have-
helping it.
You can do single leg
With the-
raises.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of RDLs are amazing. The hip thrust. Yeah. But here, do this 12 minutes a day, and you will have a strong glute for sure. Doing that 1 minute straight,
Yeah.
and then 12 sets. You will advance super fast.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
So, question, I'm not thank you so much for
Yes,
this.
you're welcome.
I'm gonna do like no running because all the kilometers and train here, which is like burning, and I cannot do both. Do you have any insights to get
That's exactly what I mean. Like even doing clamshells would be amazing because it doesn't originate here, it actually originates here somewhere, right? Here, strengthening these areas would be like my main focus. And also like something like single leg squats, everything where you bring basically, like having a complex movement. Exactly.
And just as you mentioned, do you have any good brand? I'm more thinking about I could use this shoes.
Yeah.
Do you like personally have good brand for training for
I'm super biased because I was like an on ambassador for a couple of years, but I love the shoes. The cloth ones have two super good shoes, trail shoes.
I like this space here.
Yeah, I would need to think about it.
Okay, no worries.
Maybe you can write me on Instagram, yeah?
I can.
Nik Marten.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
for
right.
you.
Okay. I will, because I'm not on top of my head. I tested so many shoes, so I definitely can give you a recommendation there, yeah?
Yeah, but thank you so much for the talk.
Bye.
Thank you for
coming. No worries. Okay, perfect. Thanks for coming.
I just have a short question. Thank you very much for the presentation. It was super helpful with Instagram.
Yeah.
Just love to collect like information.
Yeah.
So then you do some running in sort of like boot camps where it's like part of the training. But about what you mentioned about stretching, like you don't do anything.
Yeah, for sure. Like some, what I said, like more mobility stuff. So not just calf stretch or so, doing something like something where you also do one leg balance, for example. Of course, something that's like a stretching like this, or world square stretch, something like that.
Oh, I love that
I would always do something that is more complex.
Because this is what we also, I also include my workouts always some warm up, then I have the main workout, and then I have the cool down. So like it's like this 5 minutes of warming up,
Yeah.
and then like 5 minutes like this
Yeah.
stretch.
I mean, more stretching can have its place. After a session, especially, you want to like bring down the whole nervous system, right? Flush out stress hormones, and so be ready for the day. Also, if your muscles are super tense from the workout, it's super nice to do some stretching. But definitely not before the workout. So do something like mobility, but you also engage the muscles. For instance, also engage muscles. Like stretch I would do before, and like after the workout, if your muscles are tense or so.
No, I mean, I
stretching, exercises. And that's why I like yoga, for example, because you're not just isolated stretching muscles, because you're always having like more complex stretch, I would say. You're having, for example,
This is amazing. There's so many.
you're also
like, good
engaging the
breaks.
shoulders,
Yeah,
right?
I was really
And then
curious
having
about
stretch here.
the business.
So, yeah.
You worked out in your muscles with one exercise.
Also,
How does that work? I'm really curious.
Stretch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I heard from someone on TikTok like the advertisements.
Mobility more like something that's active, where you still, it's not easy, right? I mean,
chemically modified, so some chemical group what we do, imagine when you start regularly running, everything is run will be extremely active and they will produce genetic cells
Not like so much is that people do the exercises often not really correct and you
So we can change.
most people are so much in one person. It's
we didn't develop this.
I'm actually curious, yeah. Something about fitness stage. I can get one for you. Because the way how the test was developed, basically the scientists were thousands of animals, and then you see what how each stage is making, and they followed that from birth to around 50 years old. And they measured 90 biomarkers such as the lung capacity, cardiac rate, many other things. Biomarkers. What I can follow those 90 biomarkers in a way without they collected blood. They did machine learning algorithm that inferred based on this 90 biomarkers are you kind of aging faster or slower. This is the whole idea of all this epigenetic testing that they express data into the algorithm. So basically, this algorithm puts around 200 sites in the DNA. It looks at the genetic chemical modification of 200 sites, and based on that, it can match you into people who age slower, younger, or accelerated, or who have tendency at the epigenetic levels of already dysregulated sugar metabolism or dysregulated inflammation, and can suggest certain symptoms based on that. So this is bold, and that's
Actually, you know this Tyrannus and this Holmes. Tyrannus. There was some sort of startup in California, like a big store. And there was a woman, and she was saying from a little drop of blood, like saying many things about her house, but it was a scam, big scam. And they just found real proof that this genetic machine learning algorithm has. It's something that is like she wanted to do, but it was not there.
I think I saw like a similar one, maybe the one that upload, like, you know, like your homepage and like everything.
Yes, that works the following. So we all have DNA. You know, like that DNA is from 4 letters, 8 inches. Maybe you heard. No, it's called adenine, guanine, adenine, so it's 4 letters. So our code is 4 letters. And if we take of the
So what could
there will be a little bit different letters. Very small difference in letters. Then these differences in letters, if they are traced back into, like, you know, the way how people move on the earth, they can say, okay, Elena most likely was living in this area. This is almost like she is like Ukrainian, Russian, Kurdish, and so on. And you definitely, according to Mongolia or something.
Yeah.
And it's called simple nucleotide polymorphism. Nucleotides, this is for nucleotides. Adenine, when it's disease, so it's 4 different nucleotides. And all people have similar variations in those nucleotides. And scientists learned to group them into some particular group and trace back where those people were moving across the globe in centuries, millions of years. So that's how it works like that.
So I actually have a question. You said like when I like work out and when I like have like good nutrition, I can also change my DNA.
Yes.
So does that mean like so? For example, if I don't work out and like if I don't take care of myself, and if I have a kid, my kid is also highly possibly like unhealthy. But if I work out from now, like and if I get some questions,
Look, we know for sure that we pass our generations from your genes, from your parents.
Because I don't have good genes. They never worked out.
Yes, and epigenetics is actually also is also inherited. You will give epigenetics that you accumulate now before the birth, the children will also take.
Okay, but is it gonna be more bigger effect from my like how I improve my gene, or is it also from my ancestors? Which is a bigger part?
That's still scientific, but definitely it will have impact. Definitely the way how which genes you got from your parents and where they were parents, but the epigenetics that put on while you are living now will be inherited. There was some experiment that women who were overeating when they were pregnant, the children of these women, they had small developed type 2 diabetes. Or there is also another experiment in the Second World War. In the Netherlands, experienced hunger. And several generations from those people who experienced hunger, scientists sequenced DNA, and they found that a gene which is responsible for insulin was epigenetically modified specifically in all of those people whose grandparents were not eating enough. So not eating enough, having hunger in several generations will lead to the particular activity of insulin. and insulin is a glucose study. So basically it's true. Moreover,
Ja, weil ich gesehen habe, das ist.
there are some studies that show that psychological trauma, PTSD, something that happens like emotionally, strong emotional trauma, is also getting saved at the genetic level of the DNA and can be passed on other generations. But good news, other generations can modify this. So basically, like look at this guy. How come that this person, after doing it for a year, will develop six-pack? It's not because he has a gun, just because
it's because he has, So I'm on a mission to change my DNA. Because I never knew that I could change that. That gave me really hope.
ChatGPT asked a bit more questions than you. Just the last experiment, I tell you. I gave you talk about VO2max. VO2max is a very marker about how with your heart, muscles, and everything supplying blood to all of your body when you run. So they took people and they did a very harsh protocol of like exercise on the bike or running. And then they took biopsy by a piece of the muscle. They took a little piece of the muscle and they looked at the genetics of that muscle, and that they could see the change in a way that change in the genetics made the muscle more efficient in running in a way.
So now I feel like any little decision I make for my life, it's like the whole changes for my DNA.
Another little anecdote. I have a friend, and when she was young, she was a professional athlete, semi-professional athlete. Her parents made all the kids like professional athlete. And she said that now, when she is like doing sport for a long time, and then it takes her just literally 2 weeks a month, she can become her butt so fast, she can really find the muscles so fast, because actually she developed the genetic mechanism very early in life, and that's why it's much more simpler for her to invest in the shape of her epigenetics. Remember, so there's so-called epigenetic members. And I also know it by myself. So I do sports for a month, and I do it 2 weeks in a row. I get very fast, very good shape. And it's only because I have years of accumulated.
That's a really good insight, because I never did sport when I was growing up, and then I had the weakest body ever when I was in 20s, early 20s. So now I'm trying to slowly develop, and then
totally possible. Moreover, I sometimes encounter the data that people with 60 having no muscles and still being able to return the muscle by eating and training. So our body is magical in what we can do.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much. And I'll see you around. Have a great day.
Implant an den Zusatz und der nächste das. Und das ist halt die Ergebnis, wie Lebensstil